Hello and welcome. In this lecture, I will present Section 3 of Chapter 16, Rate of Return on Investment, ROI. Rate of return is widely used to measure the value of an investment. The bigger the rate of return, the better the investment. And this rate of return is also called IRR, internal rate of return. Of course, it will take the interest into account. If we can know the rate of return, and it will provide useful information when we evaluate a project. The rate of return, ROI, has three situations. If rate of return greater than interest rate I, that means we have a positive net present value. If the net present value equal to 0, rate of return equal to interest. If net present value is negative, rate of return smaller than interest. So the rate of return on investment is the rate of discount, where NPV equal to 0. Okay, so if you can find money in equal to money out, at what rate money in equal to money out, that rate is the rate of return. This we introduce a concept, profitability indexed. Our objective is to compute the rate of return, but it is helpful if we know the profitability index or discounted benefit cost ratio. So what is the profitability indexed? It is just the ratio between money in and money out. Money in, money out. If money in greater than money out, net present value is positive. Profitability index greater than 1, and rate of return greater than interest rate. If money in smaller than money out, net present value is negative. Profitability index smaller than 1, and rate of return smaller than I. Usually there are 3 methods to calculate rate of return. One method is to use IRR function, to calculate rate of return. The second method, trial and error. You just try different rate of return. The third one is linear interpolation. When you use linear interpolation, we usually start a discount rate that as close as possible, given net present value equal to 0. So what discount rate will give me NPV equal to 0? We'll start that in discount rate. If you use 2 rates of discount, there should be no more than 2 percentage points apart. For example, not more than from 2% to 4%. Now we are going to select the rate of discount using profitability index, trial and error method. Because it is trial and error, so we are going to use a rate that is not too high, not too low. Typically, maybe we can start from 20% to 24%. But with the current overall economic situation, I would suggest you may start maybe 6% to maybe 16%. So it also depending on other factors. When this PowerPoint was produced, the economic situation are better than right now. Okay. So when economic situation is better, you use a higher rate. When the economic situation is worse, you use a lower rate. This one is a concept. I will give you example in next slide to illustrate what exactly you are going to do. Use the trial and error. Okay. So this is the step 1, compute the index for the first rate choice and deduct 100% from the index and then divide the difference by 4. If the index is greater than 1, add the above result to obtain a new rate that you should use for the second attempt. But if the index is smaller than 1, you deduct. So greater than 1 you add, smaller than 1 you deduct the above value from the rate of discount initially used. So those are the concept procedure. Now let's look at an example. Assume the rate of discount initially selected is 16%. The result, if you select 16%, money in 150, money out 120. So now, step 1, this 1, 2, 3 is based on this step 1. Compute the index. What index? Profitability index. Profitability index equal to money in over money out, and it is 125%. Step 2, deduct 100% from step 1, and then divide the difference by 4. That is step 2. Okay, so deduct 100% from step 1, and then divide by 4. You get this number. And this number is greater than 1. You add this 6%, 6.25% to initial 16%. So then initial choice becomes 22.25%. Okay, to 22%. So this is how you choose. Use the trial and error. This is one example. Now another example. Assume the rate of discount initially is 20%, and assume money in 200, money out 250. Step 1, do the index calculation. Money in over money out, you get 80%. 100% subtract from 80% divided by 4, you get 5%. Okay. And this index, because this index is smaller than 1, when index smaller than 1, subtract this 5% from 20%. So the recommended choice is 15%. So now we are going to use, we introduced trial and error method. Now we are going to use linear interpolation. Linear interpolation method. Example, assume that the net present value, is 420 at 14% and 280 at 16%. Use linear interpolation to compute the rate of return corrected to the nearest tens. So how do we solve this? Using linear interpolation. We draw a line. When you have net present value 420, this is point A. And this is the rate of return, 14%. And then when you have negative 218, the rate of return is 16%. This point we call point B. Now, we set up another point, point X. In point X, the net present value equal to 0. Net present value equal to 0. Why we believe there is a point such that NPV equal to 0? Because we have a positive number, we have a negative number. There must be a point between those two numbers. You got a 0. There must. And then do a little bit mathematical manipulation. Oops, maybe I will use it. So we use AX. So this amount AX, and suppose it is a D%. And then we have AB. From A to B, it is 16% minus 14%, 2%. We can get this equation. And once we get this equation, we can figure out what is AB, what is AX. So from this diagram, AX, it is just 420 minus 0. So it is 420 minus 0. That is AX. And we keep the D%. And what is AB? AB equal to 420 minus negative 280 and over 2%. So here we get one equation, one unknown. We can solve for this D. So D equal to, so cross product. So on the top you have 700. So 700 times D% equal to 2% multiply 420, cross multiplication. And then both sides have percent, so I can eliminate percent. D equal to 2 times 220 over 600, or 700. And that is the D. You can quickly figure out. Going to use the Excel. Oops. So try to figure out what is 2 times 240 divide 700. So 1.2 and t equal to 1.2. Different from here, I got d percent 427 AXAB 700 d, then 2% d percent over 2%, d percent over 2%. I need to double check my number here. So this I got 700 times d equal to 2% times this one. So d equal to 700. 1.2. So this equation is correct. I need to erase this part. Redo this part. So I will rewrite this part to d percent over 2% equal to 420 over 700. Okay, and then from here I solve for d. D equal to 1 from here. 7. So I'm here. So I got this one here. So d equal to 1.2%. How did I get d? Okay, 1.2% is the d. Let me see. So d equal to 1.2%. One equation, one unknown. You can figure out this d. D equal to 1.2%. 1.2%. Once you have this 1.2%, this one here, you can add to 14% to get 15.2%. So the 15.2% means at this rate, the NPV equal to 0. Net present value equal to 0. So that is the the linear interpolation. We can also use IRR function in Excel, okay, to figure out, to select the rate of discount. So basically, you just use equal IRR in Excel, equal IRR. That is the function, IRR in Excel. Okay. So, all right. That concludes the second part, rate of return. In summary, in chapter 16, we did 3 things. 1, discounted cash flow. 2, net present value. 3, return on investment. We have a few minutes left, so I'm going to give you an example. To illustrate how do you calculate IRR. Okay, so try to pull out some try to get some questions. Not this one. Okay. So I'm going to do this question, okay, as a conclusion of this lecture. So I need my calculator. The textbook gives you detailed instructions how to use this calculator, okay, to do IRR. Okay, the question is, the proposed expansion of a company's plant facilities requires the immediate outlay of 155. Expected net returns are given in the following table. Calculate the internal rate of return IRR. Okay, internal rate of return IRR. So I'm going to introduce, of course, the PowerPoint slide introduces 3 methods: trial and run, linear interpolation, etc. So now I'm going to use calculator. Okay. Calculator. And for calculator, you click second quit, and then you press CF, cash flow, CF. After you press CF, you get CFO, means initial cash flow. That is outlay. Outlay is the negative number. So you need to enter 155,000. This is a negative number. Negative. After you enter this number, you press Enter key, ENTER. And then you use this down arrow key, You get C01, means cash flow 1. Okay. And then cash flow 1 in year 1 is 29,000. So you type in 29,000, press enter. Okay. And then down arrow key, you have F01, means frequency. This number occurred once. So you just type in 1, frequency is 1. Press enter key. Okay. And then you repeat yourself. How do you repeat? Press the down arrow key. You get cash flow 2. Cash flow 2 is year 2, 50,000. So 50,000. And then press enter key. Then press down arrow key. You get F02, frequency for this number. It is 1. Press enter key. Okay. Keep on going. Then click arrow key. You get cash flow 3. Press 63,000. Enter. Down arrow key. Frequency 1. Enter. Down arrow key. Go to year 4. Year 4 is 37,000. Enter. Down arrow key. frequency 1, enter, down arrow key, go to year 5, 30,000, enter, down arrow key, frequency 1, enter, then down arrow key, year 6, 9,000, enter, down arrow key, frequency 1, enter. Okay, so you enter the cash flow frequency. Last step, press IRR, then press CPT. IRR first, then CPT, compute. So you got 12.17. Okay. And you need to practice the detailed steps on the textbook. I also did demonstration here. Read the recording, use this example, make sure you are comfortable using the calculator. All right. All right, so that concludes our lecture. We do not have time for questions. Please email me for any questions. Next week, it is just a review. Thank you so much for your participation. Good luck on all your subjects. Do not forget, you can email me with any specific questions. And do expect to be to get your questions answered. Try to. Thank you for your participation, Yu Hao. Try to quick stop sharing and then stop recording button. So the lecture ends. Have a great day. See you next time.